Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the Chiefs at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you in it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's week 11, and the Kansas City Chiefs are heading to Denver for a season-defining showdown against the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites, and this one could be the game that keeps their AFC West title hopes alive. You know, Mahomes and company have had this one circled, a chance to bounce back, make a statement, and remind the division who's still on top. FanDuel has every angle covered, from Mahomes' passing yards to Rashee Rice's receiving props, and much more. Want to get even closer to the action? Build your own same-game parlay and ride with Chiefs Kingdom all Sunday long. With fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Mahomes no-look throw, FanDuel makes every snap feel bigger. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend, plus JD's 10 keys to victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can take care of business in Denver and keep their AFC West dreams alive. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Chiefs-Broncos. Mile-high stakes, and a must-win moment for Kansas City. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus
The promo breaks my heart, man.
I know.
All right.
Right there in the middle is former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn and my brother Teja Dash. Guys, Chiefs 5-5 for the first time since 2015. The silver lining with that is the 2015, we went 5-5, and then we won the next 6 straight games and got into the playoffs 2015. So, again, just because we lost this game does not mean the end is near for us in this season. But not a lot to love in this game tonight. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Not a lot of silver linings in this game to see and to talk about tonight. Just from end to end, just a kind of a very sloppy game and not what you want to see from a team coming off a bye week after a loss sustained before the bye week. It didn't seem like a lot of hey, 10 penalties, it says it all, right? You look at the stat sheet, you look 10 penalties. That's not a disciplined football team. That's not a team that's coming off a bye. That's a team that looks tired and just not with it. I don't know. JD, obviously so much to get into from this game, but from a broad view, what did you notice and what are you taking away from what you saw today?
So what am I taking away from today? I mean, there's a lot there. It really is. Everything is self-inflicted is what I saw. As I was sitting there saying on Twitter, I think we were a better talented team. I just think overall, man, we just better when we line up, especially with this game sitting up where it was. There's no reason why we shouldn't have won and beat this team at least by 2 or 3 touchdowns. And we just couldn't capitalize when we got down there in the red zone. So whether it was penalties that put us out a position to make field goals, we just didn't score. And so that was a huge problem. I think some of the calls, play calling, whatever it was questionable on 3rd and short. That didn't put us right in position to make plays. I think Pat held the ball in his hand more than he needed to. I think the only one that really came out to play, everybody came out to play, but the one that really showed up was Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce had a different drive than everybody else. And it kind of is that's kind of what is, I don't know, this past couple of weeks is what it's kind of been. It's what it's kind of looked like. There's no reason why, when I'm sitting over thinking who we have at the wide receiver position, why we shouldn't just been gut these guys. And we just wasn't. And so Pat missed on a lot of deep balls. We got the one to Tyquan Thornton. That was the only one that I think we hit. I think we were 1 for 4 for that. And so it looked like we ran the ball pretty decent when we decided to run the football. Still didn't run from any under center, I don't believe. So when it seemed like there was times to actually, dismantle this team, when we were up by 3 and we got the ball back, I'm like, we could have put them to bed. Could have went down and scored. We just didn't. And I'm not saying for the lack of trying, but I think schematically what we were running just wasn't advantageous for us. Defensive side of the football, I just didn't quite understand when it was 3rd and long on a few of those. We didn't blitz. And when you sit back, like you said, he's like, and Tony Romo was like, no, you shouldn't blitz. I'm like, this is when you absolutely should blitz.
100%.
And I'm sitting there thinking, like, why would he say that more than anything else as a quarterback? We watched him have shaky knees every time he was back there when you bring the house and bring the pain, and we just didn't do it. We sat back and let them – we gave him time to throw the football, which pressure prevents that, right? You want Bo Nix moving his feet. He can't set his feet, trying to throw an errant ball, and we just didn't do it. We played right into their hand. I just could not understand 3rd and long. Why would we not bring pressure? And I was saying on the outside, we would, Tony Romo was, giving accolades to Watson out there, and all he's a Pro Bowler like, McDuffie and all those different things. But he was playing a great game because you couldn't run man all day with those guys. And we just decided not to bring the blitz. Didn't understand that at all. I'm like, this is the opportune time to bring the blitz. This is when the time Spags brings the blitz, and we just didn't see it. We just didn't see it. So I don't know if he just trusted guys to get into a position to stop them from, getting open. They just sat in the hole, man. Bo Nix sat around and he'll dice you. But any quarterback can do that. That's worth their salt, really. So all these things I've seen, man, seriously, it was all self-inflicted. It was all self-inflicted. This team shouldn't have beat us. And I stand by that. I stand by that our team is a much better team. Overall, up and down the roster, when you look at it, we're a much better team. There's just no excuse for us to score what we did and the lack of points that we had coming in, in this game. I mean, seriously. And I put all that on our offense, man. Yeah, 19 points. 19. And I said, shoot, we supposed to hold this team to 17 points. We gave them 22, but our offense is supposed to be scoring points, and we just didn't. We just didn't do it. Now go to special teams, okay? I don't know what else more to say on special teams, Marcus, really. Because when you play special teams, certain guys, like, that's your job. That's the only thing that you have to do, okay? To come down and get glory is on special teams. You're supposed to come down and be a monster. We let Mims come out for a 60-yard return. It was crazy for the block on punt, against a defender. I thought that was just a stupid call. Never heard that before. I'd have been livid. I'd have been ripping the referee's tail off from that. He would have heard from me all the quarters, every single one of them. Like, man, that's a horrible call. But with that being said, man, I just don't know what, as far as this team. I know they came in urgency, but it was still the same old thing. Penalties, right? Left tackle, right tackle. Holding call. I think the one on Juju, the first one was a bad one. The second one got a kind of holding call. I don't mind those because those are effort plays. But the other ones, I really scratch my head when I'm sitting and I'm watching PM15 hold the ball in his hand, not making plays. Guys not getting open. Combination plays, that play calling. I thought it was suspect. I really did. So that's where I'm at with it. 5-5. I think these guys had some urgency in there, but we just didn't show up today like we should have.
Tish, broad view on this game, or any thoughts on what JD had to say about it?
100% on the blitzing. I was talking to Marcus during the game, and I was like, it kind of hit me at the end. I think Romo brought that up, and I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that much blitzing at all today, have I? This might be the least. I want to see numbers on this somewhere. This might be the least blitz Spags game in a long time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, that's fine, but make sure everyone's covered. We were looking like we were going to blitz, and then we pulled everyone back on that Sutton first down that they had to do a review on. You're just going to let people be open on a 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, whatever the hell that was. When you're not going to blitz, at least have it covered.
Yeah, 36. They're going short. They're going short. You know it.
He was wide open. He was wide open, and he had space to go. That was crazy. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Penalties were even. We had a lot of penalties, but they had 10, so it was 10-10. I think they had 100 more yards than we did penalties. So they were even worse because we had a lot of long ones. We had a lot of pass and PIs.
Yeah.
Or they had a lot of PIs on us, so we had more yards. Offense just looked really. It moved the ball. Second half was just bad because I think at one point it was like 14. What was it, Marcus? 14 to like, or 11 to like 3 or something, 11 to 5 on first downs or something.
Yeah.
At one point in the game,
yeah.
we basically tied in the end. So like our second half was just like atrocious. I mean, we're a 5-5 team, and like that's what we are. So you are what your record says you are, right? Isn't that the Parcells quote?
Yeah.
Like, so
It's
I mean,
easy to say that, but I mean, hey.
yeah, but and I agree with you. Our roster is better than the teams we face. Same with Jacksonville, and we played so much better. We should beat them. Do you know how many teams have been saying that about against us for the past few years? Like, we're better than them. We outplayed them. I mean, we should have lost the Denver game last year for that blocked field goal. Really? I mean, like, a lot of it's just evening out. It's negative regression, and you're not gonna get every single 50-50 ball. You're not going to get every single close game. We just happen to win so many of them in a row, and now we're just losing a lot of them in a row. I'm not saying it's luck because it's not, but you are going to be on the losing side of these. And look, when you have a one-score game in the fourth quarter and you have 2 3-and-outs, like, you just don't deserve to win. I mean, you can't expect to win a game when you have 2 3-and-outs to close the game out in a one-score game.
Right.
You got to step up. You have to step up there. We had the ball when we were up by 3. We got the ball back when we were tied. Like, we had chance after chance and just couldn't do it. We just didn't look right in the second half. In the fourth quarter, for sure, even more so.
So what I'll say is this. What I did notice is we didn't run any pick routes. We weren't doing anything as far as, we would flood to one side of the zone. When Pat was getting the ball in his hand quick, it was working. He was moving. We had a rhythm going, because it was just quick hits, RPOs started working. Then you kind of switch it up a little bit is what you do. And so we kind of went away from that. And I didn't mind the shots at the very first of the game. I didn't mind them whatsoever. But it just seemed like at certain points, some of the calls it was really suspect. I'm like, there's got to be a much better call than this. Has to be a much better call than this. And like I said, I didn't see any rub routes and pick routes. Didn't see any of those things at all. They were lining up man and played us man. And we didn't do anything to help out the guys that was running man, like underneath. We ran and we had some drops. We had some drops that we probably shouldn't have. Rasheed Rice had one. He probably could have walked in on one touchdown. We ended up kicking a field goal on that. So I don't know if it was, the pressure of it, but then, you can't let that pressure get to you. You're trying to play loose, and I guess the guys are really trying to play loose, right? It's like, hey, look, don't worry about it. Don't press too much. But then there's also like this, when we talk about sense of urgency, right? There's a sense of urgency that no one look, what we are up against, okay? And Marcus, when I was sitting there saying that desperation makes you careless, okay? We look a little careless out there. That's what it looked like, okay?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about the exact conversation we had about the desperation.
Yes.
When Mahomes rolls out and Elijah Mitchell's second snap, and I think technically it was his first snap because his first snap was a illegal formation. So I think it was his first official snap was him rolling out and trying to hit Elijah Mitchell at the pylon. It ends up being a pick. Dude, dirt that ball or run that ball yourself, man. There was no reason. I thought that I just dirt it or run it yourself. There was no reason to throw that ball. That was horrible.
Yeah, Pat, I'm like, Pat, take off. It was a couple of you took off. You threw the one to Kelsey, tried down the sideline. But if you're running to get like 5 or 6 yards, cool, step out of bounds. Like, it was just certain things that it was hesitation in decision making, a lot of ways, not just from the players, but also from upstairs who's ever calling the plays, like the play caller in itself. Just, the one Bashar Smith behind him, Like, you have a veteran guy that knows how to sit in that window, sit in that hole, right, to catch the football. I think you said Rice wasn't even in on that play. Why wouldn't he be in on that play? Why would that be something that you want to do? So I just it was really kind of telling to me as far as offensively where we were, because the times that we were sitting there thinking like, okay, look, we have a chance and opportunity. We have a chance and opportunity, like Teja was saying. We punted twice. We had a chance and opportunity to go down and score and put these guys to bed. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's what you want to do. But I think really for me, not blitzing Bo Nix, that was really questionable for me. Seriously. I thought we would bring the house every chance we got. Somebody sit there and say we got the sack on the very first play, and then like we should bring it. We should be stunting and twisting everybody. We should be doing more of those things. You know, when we look good, kind of getting pressure, it looked good. And then all of a sudden, it was like we was playing safe. Like, okay, everybody sit back and hope nobody catches the football. Well, if you're not getting any pressure on a guy, he's just going to sit there, wait for the open guy to get open. We let Franklin and Sutton, all those guys, look like all pros. And the other dude, who the one guy that got hurt.
Patrick Bryant.
Bryant, yeah. I mean, shoot. And I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, we really let this, and I called them a subpar team because I think they're not as good as we are. You know, I just don't. So, and somebody said it on here, man. When you watch, I think when I was running Rami, when you watch a team that has so much potential, high potential, with the type of talent you got, that's not playing up to it, that right there it's difficult to deal with, to bear. You know what I mean? So yeah, is your team reflective of your record? Sure, in a lot of different ways. But then also saying you're not taking advantage of the things that you do have. Okay, like you're much better than what your record reflects, and we know that too. Because sometimes you had to go in as a coach like you're much better than what your record reflects. So we can say, oh yeah, you are what you reflect. Okay, well shoot. Some clown sit there and said that to me on the Bills. I said, well, we'll move over for y'all. Y'all 7-3, got beat by Miami. Shoot, we're gonna scoot on over. We're gonna do that. Y'all come have a seat with us, because y'all don't look like y'all all that either. Shoot, probably should have dismantled them. We just didn't take advantage of these things. So I just it's frustrating just to see. It's frustrating to see, man. But I will say this: one bright spot, man. Congratulations to Travis Kelce for having the all-time touchdown record with the Chiefs. Okay, he came out to play. He came out to play today.
Yeah,
he let it be known.
I thought Chris Jones did too, for the most part.
Chris did. Chris, he did. He was trying what he could. You know, and like I was sitting there saying, man, the linebackers and all that, like those were the keys. And those areas they were hitting is like underneath linebacker zone area, and we were getting torched all through that. I was like, how are we just getting beat? Front of linebackers, behind linebackers, how is this just happening? So,
and again, like you kind of mentioned it in the broad view, but like coming to this game, there are two things that really stand out to me. Right, last game against Buffalo, our first drive ends in a three and out. Then the first drive after halftime, 3 and out. Then you come into this game, I'm like, okay, Andy Reid's had 2 weeks to prepare this beautiful 15-play game script. It's going to be awesome. First play is that little swing pass where Rasheed Rice get a first down. Then that's the next where he misses Xavier Worthy on the bomb. He misses Noah Gray in the middle of the field. There was kind of like a miscommunication on where he wanted him to sit or go away from the defender, and they kind of missed him there. Then the next play, he misses Tyquan Thornton on the bomb. Then you go to halftime. Our first drive, they flag Riley Moss on a hold on Hollywood Brown, but on that play, Mahomes throws an interception, which I don't know who the heck he was throwing to on that one. So that could have been a disaster. A disaster avoided there, and then we drive all the way down there, and then you have that pick that he throws on the one to Elijah Mitchell. And you just look at the splits here: 45 pass attempts to 14 carries total between Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith. 13 carries for Kareem Hunt and 1 carry for Brashard Smith today. It was at 13 carries. Actually, no, Rashard Smith didn't get a carry today. Sorry. 13 carries for Kareem Hunt to 45 pass attempts today. So we talked about more of a balance. I mean, yes, it was a little bit more than carries that Kareem Hunt got 2 weeks ago, but still 45 to 13. And on numerous occasions throughout the game, like that 3rd and 2 towards the end of the game there, we decide to throw a wheel route to Rashard Smith in the sideline instead of A, get under center, run the ball with Kareem Hunt, or B, find something in the middle, a rub route. And we were killing him on the rub routes with that touchdown drive to Travis Kelce in the prior drive. Yeah. There could have been something there where Patrick could have stepped in the pocket and maybe ran for a 2 yards. We decided to do a play where we're running a wheel route to Rashard Smith on the sideline there. Come on now. I mean, and there's another time in the game, there was a 3rd and short. We didn't run it. And Kareem Hunt wasn't even in the game, so there wasn't no threat of a Kareem Hunt run because he wasn't even in there on 3rd and 2 earlier on in the game. There was so many moments like that in this game that, again, we kind of harken back to this. The play call didn't really make any sense, and that's been kind of a theme throughout the year in our losses, JD, where it's like they didn't really make much sense, the play calling in certain situations in this game. And I just think after bye week, just what we're used to with Andy Reid, it would have made more sense. And that for me, that's kind of scary because we look at Andy Reid's record, 22-4 coming off the bye. We're really polished off the bye. That wasn't what I was expecting. I know it was a good defense we were about to see, but that wasn't what I was expecting. And I know people want to dog the defense all they want to. The defense, backs against the wall, they held them 2 red zone trips in a row, held them to field goals. Yeah, we should be getting pressure on them. Yeah, we should have thought of more ways to get to Bo Nix. But first quarter of the game, they score a field goal. They drive down there on us. They get a great punt return. They put them in red zone right off the bat. Defense goes right out there, stops them, holds them to a field goal. They did their job for the most part, but offensively, we just couldn't come through. And I think for me, and I think a lot of people are just kind of, I mean, it's not that Andy Reid has he lost a step, but should we be concerned about the play calling overall? Because after a bye week, we should see more of a polished product out there, and it wasn't that. Are you concerned about that?
You talking about as far as like just the play calling in itself?
Yeah, play calling, especially after a bye week, and you have 2 weeks to prepare. It just didn't seem like we were prepared for this game.
I mean, what do you do when sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot with penalties? You think you're dialing up the right thing, and then, you get a holding call. I want to say all of it's just on play calling, but I will say some of it is on play calling. It's almost like a perfect storm of everything, right, to lose this game. Like, we did everything in ourselves to hurt ourselves and to help them out. So, penalties definitely put us in a position where we weren't able to score touchdowns. Like you said, we give turnovers down on the, Pat throws one. We should probably just take off running, settle for the 3. Guys sitting there. I know he sees him, and I seen Pat kind of just pulling up. So it was like I said, it was indecisiveness that I seen a lot of it. And so if you want to say a lot of that's just on, a lot of different things, accumulation of it, I think that's what we seen today. It was. And it was a lot of carelessness out there, with the football and some of the things that we were doing. So let me put it this way. I don't think the game has passed up Andy. I know people are sitting there saying these things like that. I just don't think they called a good game. I don't think the number of plays that we've seen them run and what we can do as far as like with, against man or against zone, with window dressing, we just weren't really creative at all. We just wasn't. It was like a lack of creativity. And like I said before, we weren't doing a whole lot of things setting guys up like for rub routes or pick routes. It was none of those things. So if you know that you got a corner down, okay, you're supposed to go after that guy. And like I said, we went up top a couple of times. Shoot, we just missed on Tyquan Thornton. We missed Xavier Worthy. But, man, in the middle of the field, man, there's other things that I know that we've done before that we just didn't show. Just didn't show, man. And we're much better than that. We run the one, and I'll give you an example. So we ran that one with Kareem Hunt. He gets like 8 or 9 yards, maybe first down, right? And then we put him back in shotgun and run it again. Zone. And I'm sitting there thinking, we're going to do it from shotgun? Same thing. And we got, oh, man. We don't have, King Suma's out. Okay. And, Caliendo came in. It's like you got to know your personnel. What side are you running it to? Okay. I sent you a text message. It was 2nd and 2, and it was a video, and I took a shot of it. I'm just like, we ain't winning the line of scrimmage. We not. What was I talking about earlier? I was talking about us running a lot more traps. Okay. I was talking about us running a little bit more, cracking down. We didn't really run toward Benito. We just didn't do it. We didn't wear any of those things down like we should have. They brought in Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis is my age. Okay, out there still playing. And Mercedes Lewis knocked our defensive end off the football about 2 or 3 yards for a first down. It was like it was easy money. We're straight right there behind him. Straight behind him. Right there is what they did. And that's why I sit there and I say this right here, man. It's the 2nd and 2. And I'm sitting there, I was like, I had to take a picture of this shot, man. I was like, man, we are not winning the line of scrimmage. Look at the right side, okay? So it's our left tackle and our right guard who's putting around, supposed to be kicking out. And we getting pressed in the backfield. We're getting pressed. You know what I'm saying? This, when we know it's 2nd and 2, you're supposed to come out of your cleats with bad intentions. This is the type of hunger I'm talking about. When you sitting over here, this is the type of hunger and mentality you have to have.
Well, when you're pass blocking 87% of the time, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just not getting enough of that run forward going.
Right, and I've said this.
They're used to always just holding their ground. They're not used to pushing all the time. Right.
Right, but
they're not attacking. They're not used to attacking.
Not used to attacking. But this is the time you have a chance to attack. Now you telling me you've given me a green light to go hit a sucker right in his throat. I'm coming off, and I'm taking that sucker's jugular, is what I'm going to do, right? I'm coming down. I'm bringing knees, elbows, and everything with me. This is almost like you're just engaging the guy, okay? You're position blocking. This is a position block. This right here is what I'm talking about, a gap. This is a pull-down gap. The right tackle comes down. It hits the defensive end. Okay? Sumate kicks out. This should be clean right here. This should be clean. And this is the problem I have about it, because when you sit over, you think about this is the time that you tee off on guys on the defense. And it's a mentality. It's an absolute mentality. And so when we get caught up in things like that, man, I just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. I know it's frustrating for the guys to endure this, especially like this season, because I know they came in thinking, hey man, we got a fast wide receiver group. We look great. Heck, we made a three-team run, didn't we? Shoot, we beat some good teams. We beat Detroit. Raiders gave it to them. Commanders too. Then we get beat by the Bills. We thought that 3-game streak we were well back on our way, right? We thought we was back on track like we should have been. And then all of a sudden we get the Bills, and somehow we short circuit with those guys. We decide not to run what was going to be our advantage by running the daggone football. Okay. We didn't do that. We watched other teams run against them and score points and do all these different things. And then we have a bye week and we come back and we show this against Denver. Hey man, that's somebody said, are you surprised by this? I said, I'm absolutely surprised by this. I am absolutely shocked by this in his performance today.
I thought we had decent push up the middle on some of those runs.
We did.
We actually had holes for him. I was surprised by some of those, but that's horrible. It's funny too, because they rushed with their running backs more than we did, and they were way less effective running the ball than we were. Like, yeah. I think if other teams were as effective as running the ball as we are against them, they would run even more against us. Like, our run defense is pretty stout, so teams just stop, but they still do it more than us. Like, teams give up on the run against us, but they still run the ball more than we do. It's crazy. I'd love to go through our games and see if our leading rusher averaged more yards per carry than their teams did. I bet you it's at the majority of games that's the case. We just don't do it. We just stop. So, I mean, I don't know. It's an identity shift we need. It's like Andy missed his full receiving course so much that he was like, man, and now that I have everyone back, I'm not going to run the ball anymore. And Andy hasn't lost anything. Andy's been criticized for this kind of game plan since his early days with Philadelphia.
Really? Yeah.
This has always been an Andy thing, so he hasn't lost anything. This is Andy. Andy's been criticized for being too pass heavy forever. I also want to say 7 out of our 16 third downs were for 10 or plus yards.
Wow. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know if you look at the box score, I think it says we have 13 third downs, but because we got some of these back by penalty. But I'm just talking about we lined up. That was our third down when we got there. So, yeah, almost half of our third downs were double-digit third downs.
Yeah. Part of
you don't run the ball.
Yeah, we run the ball to make it more.
You can't get a third manageable. You can
Exactly.
take a deep shot on first, a deep shot on second. You got 3rd and 10. I mean, you almost have to play perfect when you play that way, right? And this is against a good defense. And we drove the ball a lot against them. We drove the ball a lot. We had 5 drives of over almost 50 plus yards against them. That's good. But 2 field goals in the red zone and then an interception on the other drive. I think we had 47 yards on that drive before we threw that pick. So it's terrible.
What were you going to say, JD?
I was, my thing is, when you know these situations, okay, where you are with this caliber team of players on it, there's no way we should have lost this game. And that's the most shocking thing to me, most disappointing thing to me, is knowing the type of guys that we have who are battle ready. They battle tested. They done been through this before. And we let a Denver team, which I think was, just played okay, really hang around and just it was like Sean Payton was ecstatic. He's like, man, this is the type of game. He was shocked. Sean Payton was shocked. He's like, man, it's the type of game that we won. They weren't expecting this. They weren't expecting this type of game from us.
They've been getting beat down in 3 quarters against bad teams most of the season.
Yeah.
They've had to pull off comebacks against teams like the Giants to win games. They were tied with us pretty much in the 4th quarter for most of it. So it's yeah, that's great. That's exactly what you want.
And when I heard him say that, I'm like, oh shoot, he couldn't believe. He's like, man, we have a chance to win this game. Should we really do? And I know they thought it was going to be tough. They're like, man, look, we ain't got everybody, and they coming off a bye, like you said. He knows what Andy's record is. He knows who Andy is. He knows who the Chiefs are. They understand that. They understand the caliber team that they're playing. Bo Nix is like, they're a good team. And hats off to them. I hate because when you sit there and it's like, okay. You got to kind of say that and you smile and you chuckle. And it's like, sucker, you just got away with one. You got away with one. You did. And you did. Be happy with it. So that's the frustrating part, man. I just, man.
Yeah, it was a rough one. It's a pretty rough year.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 and 5, man. 5 and 5.
Yeah, 5 and 5.
It shouldn't feel that good.
No.
And I think it's Kelsey's coming back, right? He thought if this is his last year, he came back to he didn't want to go out the way he did in the Super Bowl. He coming back to a team that's 5 and 5, and now we're talking about potentially playoffs being on the table now. It's oh man, Kelsey, you might want to come back one more year. You can't go out like that either. Because he's giving it all this year, and he really is. People want to knock him, say it's time to let Kelsey go. People are saying we're targeting him too much. There's been games we don't target him until the third quarter of games. So that's a ridiculous statement. I've seen many people in the chat say we keep targeting Kelsey. No, we don't. Actually, there's been many games this year we haven't targeted him until the third quarter of games. So I don't really agree with that statement at all. I did like that they got Noah Gray involved a little bit. They got Tynan his first touch of the season today. I did like everyone was kind of getting touches today.
I don't like the line of scrimmage pass for Kelsey though. He needs to get at least 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Those are like 2017 Kelsey type plays. Those aren't, I don't really want to see those anymore. We have enough guys that can do some good things with those kind of plays. Give Rice that kind of play. Give Worthy that kind of play. We haven't done that with Worthy. Did we do that with Worthy at all? Did we do a quick pass to Worthy? I don't think we did.
No, we did a snag with him, a whip route with him today, which I like. We don't usually see a lot of whip routes with him. I like that they did that with him today.
Maybe they're just worried about the shoulder more than we think. They don't want him to take. Because if you do a little quick pass to him, chances are you're going to get driven to the ground. I don't know if they want him to do that.
He's past that. He's past that.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been out there playing. He's at the point now where you played enough games with the shoulder that you're just managing. Hey, look, I know after the game I'm gonna be hurting. I'm fine with it. And so you still playing. Because Worthy was out there playing, and then all of a sudden we just, throwing deep routes. He's falling on the ground. So you just have to, at this point, injuries to you don't really matter. It's about winning now.
Well, then, I don't know. I don't know that because we're definitely looks like we're protecting him on some of the play calls. We're not getting the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? You're not just getting it to him. We're like being very selective on how we get him the ball, which is odd to me. Just get him to do quick plays if you have to.
Well, that's the point though, Tej. That's why I'm saying we just not calling anything creative. Like there's things we can do, quick outs and whatnot, double moves. Just didn't do any of those things. It just we didn't have the creativity that I see that we usually have, and Andy pretty much pulls out. Didn't see too much of it. Didn't see diving formation in the backfield. None of it. And it looks like we run real high. When guys do really good, we run it really high, right? Everything is everything. Everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody having a good time doing a little dance and all that. And then when it starts stalling, everybody's like, shoot, where's everybody at? Where's the juice?
Yep.
Who's gonna juice them up? It can't be Kelsey. Can't be the one who's 36 years old and always juicing them up. He can't be that one. Give it to Kareem.
It's really sad too. It's sad because our run is effective enough to run play action against, but we just don't do it enough to do it.
Don't do it.
No one's ever going to believe a play action when you run it. One out of every how many plays do we run in total? We ran total plays 62. And Kareem Hunt had 13 carries. So 1 out of every 5 plays we ran the ball with him. No one's going to believe you to run play action. That's just not enough.
It isn't. But we've seen that they were bringing from the outside blitzes from the guys. It was almost like they were in our head. So I was like, okay, this is their tendency. This is what they're going to do. 3rd and 2, I think we did a rollout or a boot. And I'm like, why wouldn't we run Kareem Hunt, like you said, up the middle? We got Trey Smith that's right there. Creed Humphrey, run behind those 2 guys. And what you were talking about, Tej, that's where we're getting our yards, like you said, from the inside. Mm-hmm. So stick with it. We tried to out-leverage them the one time, and Noah Gray came to try to cut the defensive end. And we had the guards pulling. Sumaite came around. He's supposed to get forced. Trey comes around, and he filters with everything else. He leads up around it. And we got tackled in the backfield. Wide receiver came up. We got a penalty actually on that play is what ended up happening. But I was just looking at the structure of the play in itself, and it just didn't look as crisp as it should have been. Because I know the blocking scheme. When I watched it, I'm like, okay, I had to rewind it real quick. I'm like, man, this looks horrible. Cutting the defensive end, we trying to out-leverage him with Sumaite, and then here comes Trey around. He's supposed to clean up everything else. And it just looked muddled. It's almost like guys didn't know who they were blocking. And it's been like that all year. It has. Sometimes the guys are just indecisive, confused, staying with the scheme, and now I'm just saying this from a player, because when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the plays, I know exactly what the play is. And I'm just like, we had to do a much better job than that. Like I said, case in point, when I showed you that picture, and I'm like, we're not winning the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 2, and we're in the backfield. A right tackle and our pulling left guard is in the backfield. And we're not causing any type of noise.
Why is Thornton and Mahomes, why are they so on the same page as far as deep balls? And will Worthy ever get there?
Yeah,
because they just can't figure it out.
That was one of my questions. It relates to Daniel Riddick's contribution here. Appreciate you, Daniel Riddick, for the contribution to the channel. Mahomes keeps overthrowing players. We're not going to get into the drafts. But, JD, why is that? Because, he does – it seems like he's on target with Thornton. Yeah, he missed him in the beginning of the game, but he caught that 3rd and 7 heave, which when I saw him throw it on 3rd and 7 deep, I'm like, oh, no, what are we doing here? And then he catches that. But – it's consistently with Worthy. It's like I think we have maybe 1 or 2 connections with Worthy over the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is? Do you think it is O-line related? He doesn't trust the O-line because he was getting the ball out pretty fast today. Is it a trust in the O-line? Is the protection? But why is it so much worse with Worthy than it is with Tyquan Thornton, who hasn't really been there as long as Worthy has?
I do believe there's a couple of things there, okay, that I've observed. Now, this is my opinion, but that first one he threw to Worthy, I'm thinking Pat, when he throws it, he lets it go, he knows Worthy's fast enough to get that ball. When I seen Worthy run on his route, he actually turns his head and kind of slows down a little bit because he wanted to track it in the air. And then he speeds up, realizes that I'm not going to be able to catch up to it. And so sometimes when you, as a wide receiver, when you get past your guy, you can't think about slowing down. And sometimes when you turn your body, you slow yourself down. And it's almost like you got to keep the same momentum going, the same speed as you can, looking for the ball going up. And so when I see that, I know Pat is thinking, man, Worthy's going to catch this. He's fast enough to get down there. And so the timing is just off because if Worthy gets bumped, okay, or get thrown off a little bit, might slow him down a little bit. And so I think Pat just believes that Worthy's fast enough to get there, right? I truly do. When he throws it to Tyquan, the first one he missed, same thing. He kind of slows up a little bit, kind of turning his head and look up in the air. Second one, Tyquan just takes off. He's just running. And you track it late. That's what you should be doing, is tracking it late as opposed to early. Because I noticed watching I had some great wide receiver coaches listening to them talking about how you should track the ball in the air. And I used to watch Eddie Kennison. When them guys are track, you don't start turning your head and look to track the ball like turning your head until later. Okay? That's what you should do. But if you like this, you turning, you slowing you down, and then I seen Worthy speed up. Check that out. Just watch that first one he overthrew him. And you'll see it. You'll see it.
Do you think that's because sometimes Mahomes does throw guys open when he sees maybe like deep coverage? He'll throw them into a spot where they might be able to kind of stop and just catch a ball, and they're like, oh, maybe this is one of those times where Mahomes is just kind of dropping in a bucket. I can just turn around and come back for it, like the Hollywood one. He got the penalty on.
Yeah,
he turned around and Moss ran right into him, and we got a penalty for that one. I don't know if that was planned. I don't think that was a back shoulder throw. I think that was just underthrown.
No, it was underthrown, but that was a great play by Hollywood Brown, a guy.
It was
experienced. He's more experienced. So Hollywood Brown's actually run. He's digging, to get past the guy. He's got the guy beat, but he knows to play through the guy to get the penalty. Mm-hmm. He did a great job, like trying to come back for it, right? So Hollywood knows, like, well, I could just play the defender. The defender has to come through me to stop me from getting the football. So that's just a vet play by Hollywood Brown. And I was like, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy
underthrow more balls.
Huh?
Maybe we need to underthrow more balls.
Well, and the deep balls is just something. It's just one of those things, man. It's just it's hard to get anyway. To throw. I mean, shoot. Everybody's like, oh, he's over. I'm gonna shoot. Well, he's expecting Worthy to be down there, right? Tyreek Hill was like, okay, he threw it up. Tyreek was down there. He was gonna get down there. He was fast enough to get down there, and I think he believes Xavier Worthy's fast enough to get down there too. So,
not to get on my Tyquan Thornton soapbox, but he's an exceptional deep ball receiver. He just another great play by him. That's it.
Yeah, it was. It's a great play by him. And I was sitting there saying, shoot, 80, he showed up today too. Two guys that showed up on offense. And
I mean, when you have two targets, 1 for 61, that you did your job. That's what he's in there for. The first one wasn't his fault, kind of his fault, but the second one he nailed.
We need some deep balls from you, man. Matter of fact, on return, he was trying to get some return yards.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Just going to like the lack of return yards on special teams, man. It just irks me.
They started with so much good field position today because of returns. I mean, forget that punt return they had, but they a lot of kick returns they were getting to 40. Butker not getting the ball in the landing zone, give the ball to 40. I mean, they did great on special teams. That was yards they didn't have to earn really because of how rough we were at special teams, be it penalties, be it bad kicks, be it bad coverage. That was a lot. That was a lot for them to kind of capitalize, and our special team just kind of gave us. It was rough for us today.
Mims is a high draft pick they got out back there returning kicks for him. Second rounder.
Yeah. He's true.
He's
a weapon. He's a weapon.
Yeah. There's one other thing offensively before we get to defense that I did notice. To me, I was just kind of I don't know if you guys saw there was that play, and I think it was we were trying to run a screen play, and it was just botched. It's the second half. And Mahomes looks at the offensive line and he says, block them. Please block them. And, when you see a quarterback say that to your offensive line, it's like, damn, man. I know he's being made fun of by Broncos fans online saying he's a crybaby, but, for me, it's like our quarterback should be saying to our offensive line, please block them. That's their job. They should be doing this. A lot of these guys are the highest paid in their position. And the fact that we're getting to a point where Mahomes is saying, please block them.
Yeah.
That, for me, it's pretty disheartening to see Mahomes having to plead to the offensive line to block them. What did you make of that, JD? I mean, JD, you played on some fantastic offensive lines. I don't think he ever told you to please block them.
It's timing. It's all timing. So you got a clock in your head when you're blocking defensive ends, especially, or just defensive linemen on the screen. But not only that, when you release to go get the second level guys, you should be running to get to your guy. So Pat was sitting there saying, first off, I got way too much pressure on me initially, just based off of the play action, okay, to the running back. So you got to set the whole screen up. But the guy's already in his face. And so now he's thinking, okay, well, shoot, I'm making a play. He retreats, throws it over to the running back, and he's thinking, well, shoot, if I got somebody in my face now, that means the defensive line is already up the field, okay? We're past that point. Now the linemen should be getting up to the second level, blocking linebackers and safeties, and this should be out the gate. But what Pat seen was there was somebody in the running back's face. And all it is the line just getting on their man. That's why he's saying block him. Hey, man, throw at a guy. So when I say throw at a guy, man, if you need to leap at him to get his legs down, do that. That's what Pat was sitting there saying. He's like, man, block him. Or you're not blocking him long enough for the play to set up. So that's what he's sitting there saying. That's the frustration. It's all timing, man. These plays, you work on them in practice, and what ends up happening is sometimes you run things at full speed. The timing does become off. So when Pat was sitting there saying, I know that's the frustration. Yeah, they're not getting up into the second level either, Pat. When they let the defensive line get up the field, they should be immediately going to their guy that they blocking on the second level. And they can't even get to those guys. It's frustrating. I get it. So I'm sitting over, I'm watching some of the comments over here, right? And everybody, the team just say it, they just suck and all of this and all that. Hey, look, man. Listen,
Say it.
I do believe we have.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm just saying. I look, and people could say whatever they want to say, okay? And you know what you have in the locker room. As a former player, you don't say a team sucks when you know how good you are and what you can be and what you should be. Let me put it that way. It's what you should be. And so what I'm sitting over here defending is because I know who the guys should be and what our record should be. It's not like teams are just blowing us out. So, yeah, okay, they suck, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And for whatever reason, they haven't gotten it all together. They just haven't. And so a lot of different things happen and it hadn't worked the way that it should have. And sometimes those things do happen. And it was disappointing that we've seen these last couple of weeks the team play. It's been very disappointing. You think they're not disappointed? They absolutely are. So as far as me getting on here and trying to run a guy into the ground, and everybody else out here over in the comments sitting there saying they suck and stuff like that, well, I guess what? Okay? Those guys that's actually out there on the field, hey, they feel worse than you do. Because that's their livelihood. And I guarantee nobody in that locker room feels good about this loss. And they're more pissed off than you could ever think about being. And so when I'm sitting over here and I'm talking about this, hey, guess what? Yeah, these guys have been playing bad ball. They know they've been playing bad ball.
I don't think we suck either. We're 5-5. We lost to 2 playoff teams recently, and before that, we were on a winning streak. I don't think we suck. There's a lot of teams that suck. That's ridiculous. We're not what we should be, and we're disappointing, I think, is the best way to put it.
Very disappointing.
We are definitely disappointing. We don't suck, though. I think that's ridiculous.
Well, that's when you have the contrarians, like you say, the ones that they're the pessimists, first thing they waiting to jump off the boat in the ship, you realize who was actually, bought in and not. You start finding out who people are. So
yeah,
it's whatever. Look, man, it's whatever. But the guys know that the mistake they're owning the mistake. It's on them. And like I said, it hadn't really been anything the other teams have done. It's always been ours. It's the self ones that get us. It's our self-inflection. Okay? We've been shooting ourselves in the foot. This entire season we've been doing that. That's the frustrating part. Yeah. Bad play calling, bad plays, turnovers, mistakes. Like Jawan Taylor, we make a good play. Jawan Taylor off the side. Line up. Jawan? Come on, man. How many times you been called for that?
Even on the next play, his head wasn't even aligned properly either. Romo even pointed it out that he wasn't aligned properly on the next play.
Next one. That's like, yo.
Yep.
And what is that when a guy's repeatedly, this is a couple of years of doing this, but like, is that just like not wanting to improve it? I mean, like it's all about alignment. I mean, really, like what is it doing it a lot like that? Just like ignoring like what your coach is telling you, what the rule is. What is it, JD? I mean, for this to be such a common occurrence for the guy.
You got a bad habit, man. You get back into your bad habits. It's what you do. You're not paying attention, okay, which he should be looking over immediately to his left to where Trey is setting up and where he should be setting up. And I get he's just trying to get the advantage he possibly can against a good pass rusher. Okay? Fine. But you know to line up. You know they're looking at you. You know that for a fact. They've been calling this ever since you've been here. And this ain't the time that you're supposed to be out. This ain't the time. This ain't it.
I'm not looking for it. I think he's doing it a lot more than that, and I think he's just getting called for it sometimes.
Yeah, Jay's pointed it out many times over the years.
Yeah, I think he's looking for an edge, especially against speed rushers. He's looking for an edge to get out there a little further, and he kind of inches back a little more, not call for it. Inches back a little more, not call for it. Inches back, call for it. He's damn it. Okay, I'll move up again. and then he goes back up again, and then he starts coming back again, and then he starts coming back again. And I just think he's trying to gain an inch. He's trying to gain an inch anywhere he can.
Yeah, he is. And look, you know what, Tej? We see it all around the league.
Yeah.
We see it all around the league. We do. But guess what? Hey, Juwan Taylor, they're gonna be looking for you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's reality.
Yeah, because
You
he's a
go into this
reputation
game,
now.
Yes, you do. And they're gonna keep looking for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just with that being said, man, look. It was a hard loss. It was a hard loss, man. It's one hard to swallow because we shouldn't have been in the predicament that we were in. And it was all us. This is what we did. Can't put the blame on anybody else. And they know that. And so I'm a stand by this. I don't think the Broncos are a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think they're a good team. They are. I like Sean, that he does a good job. We know what it was going to be. Bo Nix is a solid quarterback. But today, that was about it. They looked better than what they really were. Defensively, they had guys out, and we didn't take advantage of it.
Yep.
Oh, it's the best third down team and stuff. Well, should we running the right plays? It wouldn't even matter. We get those the third and twos, and we call them plays. I'm just like, what is this really? That's what you had? Okay. All right. Just got to ride with it. And the thing is, here's the reality is this. If these plays work, we wouldn't have anything to say. If we win this game, these plays work, we wouldn't have nothing to say.
Oh no, we have pep in our step over here right now. We be dancing and having a good old time right now. But no,
I'd be happy, but I would try to call some of this stuff out. That's why it's good.
What's the thing? We always look for stuff. When we win, we look for the stuff that, like, hey, we want to give our roses to everything that would look good, but give our kind of our hesitation or reservations to some of the things we saw that we didn't like. But then when we lose, I try to find silver linings. Like today, I think the only silver lining I found was Kelsey looked good today, while everybody else not so much. And the running game looked good when we did run the ball. That was the silver linings to today's game. Outside of that, there wasn't a lot to love today. So I always try to find the best of both worlds whenever we do our shows.
Well, I'll tell you why you can't ignore your negative aspects even when you're winning, because you get done like you got done in the Super Bowl by the Eagles if you try to ignore all that stuff. Because at some point, someone's going to expose one of those things, all of them in the same game, and dominate you like we got dominated because we kept winning. We don't have problems. We don't have any problems. We're good. We're fine. We're good. See that game? We won. Who cares? We gave up this many third downs. We won. Who cares? Well, you got to care, because at some point or another, someone's going to expose that and make you pay. So even when you are winning, you got to improve. You got to constantly improve in this league.
Right. But Tage, that's what we were saying, right? We were saying after this bye, that's what the assessment was supposed to be, because we didn't see the blind spots, what we weren't good at. And we were thinking, okay, well, shoot, this is going to get fixed, right? You had 2 weeks to get everything and refocus on the things you needed to do, and you start making a run right now.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, I heard Andy was like, we're running the ball effectively, but how many carries we have?
13. 2 more than we did 2 weeks ago.
Cream's number was 12.5.
Wow, right on it, man.
Yo, man.
Let's look at some of our contributions before we get out of here for the night. I think a lot of Chiefs Kingdom, you guys, we'll get back after tomorrow on our grade show. JD will kind of go through each position group to grade each of them, and then we'll put this game to rest. Then on to the Colts. And again, that's where we're getting that question of, is Wednesday when we have our preview, is it desperate hours, JD? Is it now? Is it that time? And that's where. Yeah,
it's here now. There's no question. It is desperate.
Oh, yeah.
You got to win out. because now you're looking at other people to lose. You're trying to put everything together. I think, it's still relatively early. It is. So anything can really happen. But without a doubt, now you start looking to who's winning what to put yourself in the position. And here's the thing, okay? And, I see it on Twitter and everybody's calling out, and I see our brother Lance calling them frauds and all these different things. Hey.
Wait, you calling the Chiefs frauds?
Yeah. So if we finish up, okay, we finish up 12-5, right? We finish up 12-5. We run the table from this point on. Okay. All these ones is sitting over here and suck and stuff like that. Are they going to come back and apologize? Hey, you know what? Hey, we were pretty good. And they get back on the bandwagon. Oh, look at who the Chiefs are and stuff like that. And look, I get it. Hey, what they've shown product-wise out here hadn't been the best. The criticism is warranted. Okay? It is warranted. The players and the coaches know that as well, too. Okay? They do. But this whole process, like Teja was saying, is this what we are learning? Are we still learning ourselves to where we need to get to? Are we figuring these things out of knowing, like, hey, Xavier Worthy, when you turn your head, you're slowing down on this deep ball. Okay, we're not doing enough of it. Hey, we're looking at the blocking assignments. Who's not getting this thing right? We should have been making this assessment and gotten better. But maybe it's still the process of getting where we need to get to. Maybe we need to go down the worst of everything to get to where we need to get to. But without a doubt, Marcus, this is the run. This is it. This is the run. I don't think we could give up anything else if we're talking about making the playoffs. Okay? So this is the urgency. There is no, hey, this is the desperation where we need to be.
And if you win out, you're the team that no one wants to face because you've won 6 straight to get into the playoffs.
Right. They don't want to see you. They don't.
But you got to get there first. You have to win all those games. But
you have to win all the games, brother. So
and like we opened the episode last time we were 5-5. It was 2015, and the Chiefs won 6 straight games and got into the playoffs in 2015. So consider that. And that wasn't a Patrick Mahomes team, right? That was Alex Smith. So let's get to our contributions before we get out of here. Green 199. If you keep losing, you're not the better team. That's true. And we keep losing, you're right about that. And right now we are a 500 team. That's what we are right now. We're not a losing team. We are a 500 team right now. So semantics there. Spags. Ooh, Spags is in the chat. Appreciate the contribution, Spags. I'd be dialing up blitzes. Not today. You didn't do that enough today, buddy. Where were you?
Yeah, your phone was dead tonight.
Damn.
Nothing was being dialed.
Missed that one, Spags. Missed that today.
Your blitz phone was unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, Spags. We got a Broncos fan. Okay. Anthony Paulus, beat you clowns. Mahomes can't take the hits like Elway could. He wouldn't have lasted one season back then. JD, could Mahomes last back in the 90s when you were playing ball?
Come on, man. Of course. Mahomes could have lasted in any era. So let's not be ridiculous now, Anthony Paulus. Hey, but we appreciate the contribution. We really do. Okay?
100%. To be fair, a lot of these guys could not, but Mahomes is one of the guys that could.
Definitely could. Yes.
Yeah. Bo Nix, on the other hand, I don't think he could play back then. He'd probably be a backup or like a third stringer back then, though. Not bad. Connor C. for another Broncos fan. From a Broncos fan, I'm just extending an olive branch. Good games. I look forward to hopefully many more battles in the future. See you guys on Christmas. Appreciate that, Connor C. Hey, that's nice. That's AFC West love right there.
Yeah. Hey, look, we know it's going to be a battle. We know this. And so we always look forward to it, okay, because we know it's going to be a hard-fought one. And this one didn't disappoint either. And so at the end, whoever had the ball was able to make more plays, won the game. And y'all got the better of us today. So but we'll see y'all. We'll see y'all in the Arrowhead.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Kyle.
Appreciate you, Connor. And our final contribution for the night before we get out of here is our friend Jacob Donabauer. Appreciate you, Jacob. Chiefs have like an 80% loss rate when the RB doesn't run the ball at least 20 attempts. Coaching has failed to change, being blindsided that we have made it to 3 Super Bowls with this lackluster running plays. JD, Tej, thoughts on this comment here?
Agree 100%, Jacob. And so
Yep.
if you're sitting there saying that, I mean, if that's, I don't know what the numbers are, but if that's 80% loss rate, doesn't run the ball at least 20 attempts, wow, that should be glaring. And that, you know what, Jacob, that's something the Chiefs should know. And I'm sure they do. They got analytics up there. They got all the people. And it's just like, hey, we need to do something a little bit different. And so we'll see. We'll see if they take that advice, brother.
Yeah, I mean, 20. I take 15 from one or about 18 from two. How about that?
Yeah. Also, further highlighting that Breece Hall trade wouldn't have done much because 13 carries from Kareem Hunt at 4.5 yards per carry. I don't think would have done much more with Breece Hall in the backfield. It was just would have lost an asset in the process. And probably it would have been like maybe 13 to 8 carries between the two of them, which probably wouldn't have been that bad, but still wouldn't have been granted enough to be a third-round pick.
You know what disappointing also too? Elijah Mitchell comes in. We don't give him not one carry. Why not give him the carry? Let him come in. And spell, Kareem 4-1. So.
And Brashard Smith not getting a carry. How about that? That's also another one. How is he not getting one carry at least?
Yeah. Yep.
Man. But guys, enjoy Sunday Night Football. Relax tonight. Maybe to step away from football for some of you people. I think some of you guys maybe need to step away from football for the night. But come back tomorrow night. JD will be doing grades. For some of you who say JD doesn't go in on players when he grades, you guys don't watch the Monday grading show because he actually doesn't really give out many A's. So you should probably listen to what he has to say about the position groups. So because JD is not very easy on the players. He actually has a high standard for the guys. So come tomorrow night on our Monday show and listen to what JD has to say about the position groups because JD's not very easy on players if you ever watch our shows.
Yeah, they wanted me to rant and rave right now and cuss people out and all those different things. And I'm calling everybody out. This is a full team call out because it's a team sport. And so I could call out individuals, but the thing is, it takes more than just that one person to lose a game. So the entire team lost this. And so when you sit there and you start looking on offense, defense, and special teams, it was something that one of those three phases didn't do and should have done to win this game. So this is a full team call out. Other channels might come, this guy sucks. And hey, man, look, we already know what it is. We do. Okay. It's very disappointing. Okay. All those guys are disappointed. I could go in and call one guy out, but I'm going to miss a whole slew of other guys. I wouldn't stop. I'll be here all night if I start calling guys out one-on-one, okay? But guess what? I played the game before, okay? I know what that feels like. I know how that is. So, and I know what these guys are giving. They're giving their heart, they're giving their passion, and they're giving all their effort. So I'm going to give that respect to those guys because I know what they're putting in for it.
100%. And that's why we provide a different perspective for fans other than other shows. And we have other great content creators in the community. And, there are a lot of them run by fans. We are special on this show. We have the journalistic perspective, as well as a former player's perspective who's been in the locker room after games much like that, where you have a loss like that. Fans aren't the only ones feeling hurt after it. You guys are obviously very impacted by it, more so than the fans are, since that is your livelihood and that is your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's man, when I'm telling you, after a loss like that, it's hard to sleep. Your body's aching from, taking a beating, and then you get beat up mentally. It's tough. And now you got to take a flight. Oh my gosh. And all you're doing is thinking, what can I have done better? What can I have done differently? Was my effort, was that enough on this particular play? And this is what guys live with. They do. And they're going to be like that until probably Tuesday, because you got to go through the film. You got to get chewed out. You got to look at yourself truthfully and like, daggone, it's not getting done. It's not getting done. So,
yeah, big week this week in Indianapolis or in Kansas City against the Colts. And we'll cover all that stuff on Wednesday for our preview show. But tomorrow night, JD will grade and give his assessment on all the position groups from tonight's game. And we will dig in on all that this week. So, guys, a big week in Chiefs Kingdom. So we've got a lot of new subscribers on tonight's episode. So all our new peeps and new people in the chat, we hope you do come to tomorrow night as we do discuss some more stuff from this game. And then after that, on to Indianapolis for this Week 12 matchup. So hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. Love y'all. And JD, we hope you had a fantastic. I know today was a bad way to end the birthday weekend, but I hope you had a lovely birthday yesterday, my man.
Hey, listen, first off, let me say this, okay? And I haven't did it on Twitter, but like I said to everybody on our show on Friday who would preemptively gave me birthday wishes, for everybody that did. If you're watching this, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me those birthday wishes. Marcus, Teja, both you brothers, for showing me the love and support that y'all have been doing over the time. But also to our entire Chief Concerns family and Chiefs Kingdom, every single one of you guys and gals out there. Thank you so much. We love you. Hey, look, we just got to keep fighting. We got to keep doing it. So it's on to Indy. It is. It's on to Indy. That's what happens. So let them step up. We keep swinging at them too. But appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hey, love you. I really do. And so y'all
right back at you.
Yeah, thank you.
Love
brother.
you guys.
Thank you. So
Love you, fellas. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.